Tonight's Modern Men is powered by the Hero Initiative. Interested in becoming a hero? Go to heroinitiative.org to see how you can be a hero to comic creators in need. How's it going, guys? It is Monday, March 2nd, the day after C2E2. I don't know about my pal Andy over there, but I'm a little bit, conned out, tired, all that good stuff. But how you doing, Andy? That beard, I saw the beard in person.
Yes.
Oh, my God, it was mind-blowing.
I am tired, but this beard is victorious.
C2E2, did you just go up there and say, is it real? I mean, come on.
I was just stunned. Like, you meet a celebrity. I was just in shock and awe, basically. I didn't know what to say or do. I saw Andy, but I couldn't see through the beard. But JP, how you doing down there in the basement?
I'm hanging out. I'm not getting as much content out as I wanted, but I did get a big video out today. I opened up all those mystery boxes. Right, this is the second time we've done it. I had 11 different comic book community members mystery boxes.
Dang.
Check that one out. Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, we could do almost a whole show on just mystery boxes, but hey, don't wait for us to do it. Just watch his show today.
Well, I'll tell you what, we graded them. We only graded them 3 ways: A, C, or F. And 10 A's and 1 C.
Wow.
Damn. Whoever got the C was really an F and you were just being nice.
You have to
got a grade on a curve, man.
We got a grade on a curve. There you go.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, Drew, how you doing tonight?
Oh man, I'm doing fantastic.
All right.
Oblivion Song this week. Can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was surprised about this one.
Before we get into Oblivion Song, I need to get into this chat. Of course, we got Chris Barrett. He was first in the chat. What else is new, right?
You say Chris Barrett? He was voted the best mystery box, by the way.
He has a mystery box? I didn't even know.
He had a mystery box, and when the show is over, dollar for dollar, Chris Barrett won the fan vote in the chat.
Damn, if Barrett can do it, I got to start my own mystery box.
Yeah, he says he has a title to defend now, right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I had no idea. We got the Stream Elements robot. He's holding it down in the chat for us. So what's going on, Stream Elements?
Hey, there you go.
Having that blue wrench of doom. We got Chad R saying hi to the Stream Elements robot. We got my personal first subscriber ever, Fish Tropic, saying thumbs up and aliens. What's going on, Fish? Nice to see you in the chat tonight. I got to see this guy this weekend, too. We'll talk all about the meetups later. But we got JP's Budget Collecting. An absolute pleasure to meet him.
One of my favorites. Yep.
Thunderhouse Design is in the chat saying, what's good, y'all? How you doing tonight, Thunderhouse Design? And without further ado, we'll go ahead and just, if you guys like the comic we're going to talk about tonight, definitely start building up your ideas for the randomizer toward the end of the show. This is how Oblivion Song was picked. We just put a list of books and a random.org, and it crashed. So we did it again. And someone in the middle that suggested Oblivion Song, and that won the second randomizer that actually worked. So congratulations, Robert Kirkman, I guess. Your read got picked, and I'm really glad it did. So if you guys haven't read, you guys want us to read, don't tell us yet.
Don't tell us yet.
Wait till the end of the show, or if you're watching it on the rewind, like Big Will suggested 2 weeks in a row, V for Vendetta. That is going in tonight. So if you're watching this on the rewind, you can go ahead and just go to the comments now. Put in what you want us to review and read in the future. And also, if you guys got any topics, because my brain is fried from C2E2, I'm always good for some topics as well. So go ahead and throw those in the comments as well. I would highly suggest the comments because the chat just moves fast and it won't be as permanent. So please, I like topics. So without further ado, Andy, I got to start with you as usual. What were your initial impressions of Oblivion Song?
I had a kind of a mixed bag of feelings at first because when this first came out, they were still working on Walking Dead. So I kind of struggled with the thought process of how they were going to juggle two like major opuses, if you will, from Robert Kirkman, not knowing what the potential outcome for The Walking Dead was going to be. Now I'm even more excited because I feel like he's the kind of guy that really wants to put a lot into things, like when he focuses on it. This started out really good. It has its points beyond the first series where it gets a little slower, but it's getting better, and I can't imagine it slowing down at all. So I'm really excited to talk about this tonight.
Nice. What about you, Drew? You said you read this when it came out. What'd you think about it on your second read?
Yeah, not only did I read this when it came out, I got the advanced retailer copy.
Nice.
That was basically the first 4 issues. And I read that before issue 1 dropped. And let me tell you, I was all about this book when it first started, man. About volume 3, it started to slow down a little bit. Now they're just finishing up volume 4, I believe, and I think it's picking back up again. But the thing I really loved about Oblivion Song is I went into this book thinking that it was something completely different than it ended up being, and I think you can maybe see it as a detractor. I really enjoyed the fact that this series doesn't really take shape until the absolute end of this first trade. You don't know what's really going on until the first trade is over with. Lorenzo de Felici's art is highly stylized, very cartoony and detailed at the same time. I think the colors will muddy some of the action panels from time to time in this book, but I think overall it's a very beautiful presentation and a fun story that gets told from a couple different angles before you really even know what's going on. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. What about you, JB?
Blown away. I love this one. I love this show, guys. Thanks for having me on. Honestly, man, I have read so much.
This is my favorite show of the week. Every week.
I love this show and being introduced to all this great. This was fantastic. Read it straight through. This is one of those ones where as soon as I started from the first, I mean, I don't think there's any dialogue for the first, how many pages that you got people just straight up running. Remember how well the story was told in Walking Dead, but in black and white? They have color here, and that's what they're doing. They're telling this. It was really good, and it started right away, and I was sucked in. And I'm also a child of, how old I am, in my late 40s now. So, all of this Holocaustal kind of stuff, this guy in this get up when he's first out there with the gun. And I'm thinking old school Mad Max kind of shit. I was really enjoying this all the way through. I mean, literally when I got to the last panel, I texted you guys, wow. I mean, it was awesome straight through, in my opinion. Now the colors, we'll get to, I don't know if you guys want to talk about the art where the purples and the, very, very different, very style. I think you use the word stylized. I like that. That's a great way to describe it. But it also muddied where I couldn't tell the creatures. There's so many different creatures in the panel that
the creatures in the environment are kind of
in the environment. They're hard to differentiate.
Yeah,
the creatures in the environment. Yeah. So, but no, it's really good.
Nice. So yeah, I mean, this is the first time I've read it. I tried to read it originally when it came out, but I think just that stylized art you guys were talking about, that's a good word for it in my opinion. It just kind of turned me off initially for whatever reason, and I just could not get into story originally.
This is a full-blown, there's no dialogue here, but there's a lot of storytelling going on here, and this panel up here, I love this because I didn't see him at first. Yeah. You saw the creatures.
Yeah.
And you see the creatures going up over the top, and then he was in this hood down here.
He's got Frodo's elven cape.
Definitely, right? Yeah. I thought it was really well and that's still writing. It's all done by art, but it's still telling this fabulous tale of this wasteland that he's in, which you come to find out, it's a very, very interesting story. I don't want to, are we allowed to reveal? When did this
I think
come
we're
out?
gonna dive deep into this thing. I think we can kind of blow the lid off of this story, and the way that it unfolds is very well paced, very Kirkman-esque. I'll say, very much like the beginning of The Walking Dead. You're getting a lot of these people's personalities before you're getting told what they're doing there and what angle you're seeing it from. especially with the characters of Duncan and his wife. That's kind of a story that unfolds very slowly. But the story is basically of a scientist named Nathan who, after an explosion of energy where a giant portion of the city of Philadelphia was engulfed by an alternate dimension called Oblivion, and half of that, the Philadelphia part went to Oblivion, and the Oblivion part took over part of Philadelphia. So you've got these monsters running rampant in Philadelphia, killing a bunch of civilians, all kinds of destruction on the Earth side. And then on the Oblivion side, a bunch of survivors who needed to figure out how to survive. We don't know anything about how they learned to survive, but we know that one of the survivors is Nathan's brother, Ed. And Nathan keeps going to Oblivion to try to save people and bring them back to our dimension.
Nathan's a scientist, and he figured out a way to get over there.
Yeah, and spoiler alert, there's more to every angle of this situation than it seems to be in the first part. Duncan is one of his assistants, comes back. His wife had been with somebody else for 2 years. She tries to make it work with Duncan. There's all kinds of interpersonal drama there. He was only there for 2 years, and he knows that there is some sort of draw to Oblivion. They call it the Oblivion Song, the music that is kind of hypnotizing the sounds of this world. And the people who seem to stay there seem like they get addicted to it. Like it becomes a part of who they are. I don't want to know how spoilery you guys want to get with this.
But also, you have the character Ed, he's searching for his brother Ed. Well, Ed's like loser. He was a big time loser, and he owed everybody money, and he never finished anything, and he always let everybody down. But over here, he was a leader, and he was people looked up to him, and he don't want to go home. It almost reminded me of the Die thing, where you get the characters like, I don't want to go. Why do I go back there, man? I'm getting all kinds of tail over here, or whatever it is. The reason that he's over there in this, he's like, I'm looked up to. Over there, I'm nobody, and I owe everybody money. And yeah, it's very interesting storytelling.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Lost as well, where Jack and them finally get off the island, and they're just like, we have to go back, because they just once they left there, they felt like something was missing.
Shout out to John's Comics with Kids and his obsession with Lost. I completely agree. There's so many different ways of examining these characters through the lens of the story that we're getting. But alert, I'm going to go ahead and say it. My favorite part of this whole book is the end of that retailer exclusive. That wasn't the end of this first arc, but I think was a better kind of ending. Nathan is responsible.
Yes.
For the transference in the first place.
Yes. It was his machine that did this, and he goes, I wasn't expecting it to bring in this. He had found this alternate universe, and I was just bringing over a little piece of it, but there was this huge energy surge that I can't explain, almost like somebody was feeding it on the other end.
And spoiler alert on that one. It's still going for 3 more volumes. So we're going to get more of that as this story
and that's goes. Where I'm like, that's how this one ends. I don't want to total spoiler, but man, the storytelling getting up to, hey, I'm looking for my older brother. This is why I keep going in. He's actually had funding from the government when he was returning people, and then he cut the funding off. Why don't they want to fund him anymore? Because they don't want him out there. Why don't they want him out there? Also, when he returns from the alternate universe, he ends up somewhere in, our universe in different areas.
The transportation is a direct transference. So if he's like up on a cliff in Oblivion,
exactly,
and he comes back to Earth, he could drop and fall and die from the fall,
exactly,
because of his elevation.
That's
so he's going to kind of calculate where he is.
Parallel universe.
Yeah,
it's
right on top.
Yeah. It's a really fun read. I think there's a lot of really great science fiction tropes in this, but I think that the strength of it lies in the characters. Nathan and the way that he argues with his girlfriend, who is also one who's helping him out. She's like, she knows that he can't help himself. Ed, when he gets back, spoiler alert, he finds his brother and he brings him back to our world, and his inability to reconcile, kind of like a getting out of prison kind of deal. You're used to something being one way, and then at the last minute, the rug's pulled out from underneath you. You have your freedom. You're back where you think you should be, and it just doesn't feel right. And there's also a great villain in Oblivion in the Faceless Men, which are the reveal at the end of this book.
Yes.
Not everything is as peaceful in Oblivion as they want you to think it is. So there's a lot going on from all angles of this book. I really enjoyed it. And I thought that the art, although did have some issues from here to there, I found it really fit the story. And I think that the whole thing really works together. And I'm happy to say that this is still on my pull list and I'm still reading it.
Wow. You mentioned the characters being a really big part of the story and about building that story. But what I really love about Robert Kirkman is his ability to build his world building ability. I mean, page 2. That's page 2 right there.
Yeah. There's a lot going on right there.
In my opinion, where I think art like that on page 2, world building wise, is stunning. Sure, it's not my favorite art, but the way he builds that world and the way he delivers that in the first half of issue 1 is pretty astounding.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, like I was saying, I had to read like the first half of issue 1 twice just to figure out what in the world was going on to begin with. But once I did, I was really into it. I always like the alternate dimension stuff, especially when I start talking about vibrational frequencies. It reminds me of something I talked about way back when in Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they kind of just use kind of that same principle to get their story going. And I really just like how, the main character, Nathan, he's just kind of like a do-it-all type character. He's a scientist. He's a good hand in the field of combat. And you also see that he kind of cares about the creatures on Oblivion, too. I thought that was kind of a neat twist as well.
He's like, you didn't have to kill him. We would have got away.
Yeah, it's not our world they're in. It's their world. They shouldn't be messing with it.
And then meanwhile, you see his brother eating alien meat and, basically surviving like a woodsman. So,
but yeah, I thought they're very yin and yang. I really like that about them.
Mm-hmm.
The twist in the story, and there's many twists in the story, but one of the twists in the story is he's there to rescue what he thinks is rescue people. Right now, those people disappearing from this universe is being interpreted by the people they were with as not being rescued. They're like, hunted. Every time that dude shows up, some of our peeps die or disappear and never come back. We need to get rid of this guy. And that was interesting that, the group that was hunting him ended up being his brother. Man, I like how this was written, and I'm absolutely getting the next one because the reveal on the last page again, just like Paper Girls, man, you guys are killing me. I'm gonna go broke.
This is it. Page 3, JB. I'm talking about hunting down the people.
There it was. Yeah, they disappear.
I was super sucked in with the idea of them being able to shoot a dart and transfer people back, yeah, or his belt that he carries with him. I'm really digging this sci-fi side of things in this book where I'm not being pulled into outer space and have 30 different universes, something like that. There's this sci-fi book is really pulling me in, and they got a lot of gadgets, and I'm kind of a gadget guy.
Nice.
I think Kirkman paces it very well with kind of a character first approach. And he wants to kind of give you a character and a situation and then have it extrapolate to a larger situation. And he does a great job world building that way. You're seeing everything through a different character's point of view, kind of getting a hodgepodge of this mystery built as you're getting pieces of the puzzle, man. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I did too.
Awesome. So I think we pretty much tackled most of the points that were in this first volume. So we may as well go into our CGC grading here, since Chris Barrett's back from his snack, apparently. So, Andy, what do you give Oblivion Song overall?
Oof. This is tough for me because it's kind of like I got to go 9.2. Could it be better? Yeah. Does it need work? Yeah. But it is a solid read that shouldn't be passed up.
Nice. What about you, Drew?
I really enjoy this book. It's an ongoing that I am still enjoying. The second read through, I kind of think it lost its luster a little bit. I remember enjoying it more. And there are some issues with the art, and I think that because it doesn't really find its footing until the end of this arc. Here, I have to give the first trade an 8.7.
Ooh, really? Wow.
8.7.
Yeah, not quite a 9. It's I don't. There are some better stories out there. I really enjoyed this. I think that's a realistic grade.
All I want now is an 8.7 slab graded of something. But anyway, JB, what's
I
your
loved
score?
it. I'm gonna blow this one off the top. This is one of the best things I've read this year. I love it. Yeah, I was sucked in from the first, running the first hunt down of that couple. I love this one. The only thing is I do agree that some of the artwork got a little muddled there where I couldn't tell what was going on. So I'm gonna go 9.6.
Wow. Nice.
I think that's done on purpose. The monsters in the world, I feel like they're trying to blend the two together and make it hard for us to discern between them. And I have a hard time agreeing with that approach, but in the same fashion, like Drew said, on the second read, he feels like it lost some of its luster. When I go and reread it, I'm finding things that I missed the first couple of times around. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of rediscovering certain portions of it as well.
Nice. I think for me, I'm gonna have to give it an 8.5. I may give it a cold 8.5. I really did enjoy it once I started to kind of get into the world and the characters. I think Robert Kirkman is excellent, like you said, at building these characters in this world around them, or I guess in this case, technically worlds. I definitely see a lot of influences from other sci-fi properties, like I said, Lost, with that whole thing of like, all right, now we have this ability to leave the island or this other Earth, but man, we just need to go back because that's where I feel like I belong. So I definitely dig that. But like I said, the art, and I do see Andy's point. I mean, they kind of wanted to make it feel completely different than, say, Philadelphia, PA, obviously. So when you start off in that alien realm, I think Kirkman really wants you to feel like you're disoriented and completely out of place and something's completely off, which mission accomplished. Like I said, I had to go back and reread that whole first section. It was like, what did I just go through, basically? So I'm going to say 8.5. There's a ton of promise here, in my opinion, though. So, all right. So that wraps up our Oblivion Song review. Once again, save some suggestions for the end of the show. We'll put them in a randomizer if you guys liked our review. Tell us what you want us to review next week, and we'll put it in our randomizer and hit it one time at the end of the show. All right. There's a lot of you guys ready for the con summary here, but I want to get into this chat first because there's a lot of these fine gentlemen we actually saw at the con. So we got NYC in the chat. He says, great seeing you guys. Yeah, likewise, great seeing you too. It sounds like he's just about home, so that's great. I'm glad a lot of these guys are making it home safe, it sounds like. We also got Lowe's. He says, what up, fellas? Not sure I can stay long, but awesome seeing you guys in person. So big thanks to Los for saying hi. That was awesome. And then, of course, JP's Budget Collecting once again. Geek Aficionado. I think he said he's about home too as well. Let me scroll down here. We got Michelle Shedd. How you doing, Michelle? Nice to see you in the chat tonight. Chad RCG. I think I missed Chad at the show, unfortunately. There's several.
He was only there Friday and Sunday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't make it till like 1 p.m. every day, but more on that in a little bit. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into our post-con coverage here. And Andy, since I kind of got this con crud / SARS, whatever the new stuff's going on,
you got it too.
I'm gonna die by next week, but Andy, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one.
You got it too, man. Oh, I feel like
we're dead.
So I thought I learned my lesson the first time, and apparently I didn't. Never try to do a convention in one day. Never do a convention in one day. Never do a convention in one day. And God forbid you ever try to do C2E2 in one day. That was a nightmare.
Wow.
The convention. So we're only 2.5 hours away. So we can make that ride. No worries. We get there, we prepaid ahead of time, months in advance for parking at the McCormick building. We get there and we're blocked from even getting in, and I've got a $36 parking pass for one day. Let me in the door. I paid for it. They begrudgingly let me in. We get parked. Half an hour just getting to the parking structure when we get into downtown Chicago, because Siri and Google have no concept of one-way roads in Chicago. So that was a lot of fun. An hour in the security line. They did an amazing job at the security line for the amount of people that were getting through there. Bravo to them. They handled that better than any convention I've ever been to, as far as a security line with metal detectors, wands, and the whole shebang.
So many of them.
Still moved pretty quick. And then we had a half an hour wait to use the bathroom right after that. So at that point, we're like, we just need to go to the beer garden because eventually we're going to meet people. And sure enough, we go right to the beer garden, and then everybody clamored down there. And my favorite part, the one thing I wanted to happen at C2E2 in Chicago, was we all got to meet up, and we spent at least 2 hours probably. Carson, me, you, Comic Books NYC, Los, Geek Aficionado, George, Dean Rugg's Comics, Adam Bear Island.
Nice.
We all spent at least 2 hours just yakking it up and having a great time. That was case in point worth every penny of admission. That was perfect in my opinion.
That's awesome.
I mean,
That is awesome. Great pick.
Great
that
pick.
was awesome.
Adam,
Even after
George,
that,
Covey,
everybody
Jason.
decided to split up and kind of run
Man,
around, and we spent a few hours after that running around. But
Kenny,
it's a big boy convention. It's a
aficionado.
giant convention in Chicago, and if you're looking for a big boy book, you were not disappointed. There were,
very cool.
if you're buying a Hulk 181 and you've got the cash for that, there were copies everywhere. There were copies everywhere of ASM 129.
Really?
Oh yeah, those were two of the big books that I saw everywhere. One thing that I'm shocked about for C2E2 is there were almost no indie books being put out.
Promoted by creators?
Well, when you talk about just going to the dealers, it was all Marvel or DC.
What's wrong?
I didn't even get a chance to go over to the creators section. Like when you talk about the convention floor being separated, comic books, the creators, the video gaming pop Asia section they had. Then they had the artist alley section they had. I didn't even get to go anywhere beyond just the comic books at that point. It took us a good 3 hours to make a trip and a half through there just to see what was available. And by that time, it was dinner time.
Yeah,
You can't miss that dinner bell.
Does it look like I ever miss a meal?
Right there with you, brother. So what was your favorite thing that you saw at the convention?
You guys, the
You
community,
didn't see me.
Everybody watching right now, Comic Books NYC, just D-Run Comics, JP Budget Collects. JP, man, that dude's way taller than anyone had ever imagined. The community, the best part about that convention is the community. I would buy a 3-day pass, not buy a single comic book, and spend all 3 days in the community if I could. That was by far, case in point, the best part of the convention. And Saturday there were so many people there Saturday. It was hard to get through it and see everything, but at least we got to spend a good 3-4 hours with the people there.
Now, speaking of the community, Carson, I know you were gifted a special slab, one of those DGC slabs.
Oh, I'm so
that's on
jealous.
Instagram today.
official member of the DGC. So I got me one of these here. So
very nice, very
George
nice.
he was in line at the CGC booth, and he was messaging me on Instagram on Sundays. It's like, hey, dude, I got a book to give you. I'm just like, okay. Where are you at? He's like, I'm just picking up CGC. I didn't realize the CGC pickups were like downstairs by the McDonald's area for some reason.
There was a McDonald's area? Jesus.
Yeah, it's kind of hidden behind all the massive humanity that forms at the door now, taking pictures of cosplayers.
Yeah.
But anyway, I ran down there, saw George. He pulls this out. So this is Adventures of Superman issue 501, DGC graded 9.8.
There you go.
And signed by Carl Kessel.
Damn.
I've actually never met got a signature from Carl Kessel. So it's a pretty cool book actually for me
JB.
to have.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome. Those
You got a big old
DGC
jar
books.
of jelly, because I got plenty of peanut butter here, and I'm gonna make a jelly sandwich. I'm so
right.
jealous.
Yeah, look at that. That's nice. I love that DGC stuff.
Don't you get your jelly on his slab, man?
Very
yeah,
cool.
he's like,
That's
you're the
super
only other
cool.
Superboy fan I know. So here you go. And I was like, I am beyond humbled by this. He even took the time, like, made this whole label and everything. Like, it's one thing, to hand a person a book. It's another one to give them a signed book, but to like go to this extra length and make this label, like, it's just, just the fact that someone would think of me and go to all that work and then give me this. Big thanks to you, man. That's awesome.
You
Big
gotta show us the hollow label in the corner, man. He goes all out. That hollow label in the corner, that holographic label.
It's like the little.
I got a DGC, but check out my grade. Okay, you can see the grade. Come on.
Sorry, a little bit of a glare there.
Oh, yours is scratched.
I got an A+.
A plus.
I got an A+ grade, and I got the D. Yeah, with the D.
Man, I ain't got no D-wrong books.
And it's even got this little. This one came.
It's got a sticker at the bottom too. So I mean, he has gone all out.
Man.
These are better than those crummy CGC labels I've ever seen. This one's even got the Superboy yellow Superman logo, which I'm a mark
This is
for.
a yellow label because it's a sketch cover, and he's even has the artist logo on there. I don't know if you can see it.
That's badass.
There's the
Dude,
30.
he put so much work into that.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah.
to George, man. That dude, he's a good dude, man.
And then on the back, it's got information.
Nice. That's
And
cool.
the 36 Chambers logo. This thing's super cool, man. DGC.
I'm surprised the back of the slabs don't say sponsored by that his local liquor store.
The local liquor store. But no, I was beyond humbled by that. So big thanks again, George. That was amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
That is cool, man. I'm digging it.
Before I keep going, I do want to get into the chat. Count Von Strange is in the chat saying, "What's good?" I did get a chance to meet Count Von Strange at the convention. Once again, it's the second year in a row I got a chance to meat him, so it's always a pleasure to meet.
Count on strange Roman numeral.
And then there was another person. I missed him this year. I was so disappointed in myself. I one recommendation we didn't talk about last week is turn on your notifications on your phone for Instagram and all that stuff, because when people are looking for you, they need to be able to find you.
Yeah.
And the Poor Man's Comics, unfortunately, I'm sorry I missed you. I didn't realize he was only going on Friday, and I was like running 100 miles an hour, and the next thing I know, it's like almost closing time. Like, oh, where you at, Poor Man? I'll see you tomorrow. He's like, this is my only day. I'll see you next year. I'm like, crap. But if you guys want to check out a really nice convention hall, check out Poor Man's Comics channel. He always gets the best haul. I knew there was no point for me going through the vendor alley because Poor Man's had already been there on Friday and bought everything.
He bought everything good.
Like only last year at least. So I knew if I didn't get a chance to shop on Friday, I might as well just not even go over there. I still went over there anyway and bought 2 nothings. But yeah, Poor Man's, check him out.
What was the hot book? What was the hot book there? What was the hot C2E2 exclusive cover?
I saw
that was the hot book.
84 picked up a couple of those negative space Wolverine variants.
Yeah,
awesome.
Chad got one for me too.
Dude, yeah, I need one of those.
Thank you, Chad.
I thought about trying to get one, but I just never got a chance to wait in that line. I did pick up. I might still have it in my bag here. Andy, show yours off real quick while I'm looking at my bag.
These were the hot books for the convention, even though
they were there.
Exclusives.
Oh,
really?
This is what everybody like on-site grading. Lots of signatures floating around. People were moving these books, trying to get the high grades and get them signed and get them available for the people that wanted them. So,
and what were they going for?
Hell Arisen 3, I think double signed 9.8 was going over for 500.
Oh my god!
And, there was a 9.9 Batman 89 signed that went for over like $2,000.
Oh,
I can't wait! I can't wait for this story arc to come out. This Joker War or whatever, and then for Punchline to just
get killed and
be the cousin Oliver of Batman.
I was able to get 1 copy of each from my local comic book shop at cover price with my discount.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives me a chance to read it, but these are going in my giveaway on my channel.
Shut the front door. Whoa, I want to enter.
So you guys may as well just stop listening to us now. Look in the description below. Go sub up Comic Man Andy.
Give him a dad joke.
When he's going to give away those books, because
He's out.
one of my observations talking about those books is my friend Kurt Joker 68. I was actually trying to get some signatures for him this show, and he had signatures he wanted to get from Tony Daniel, and I kind of told him like, hey, James Tynan's theirs too, who did that Batman together with the first appearance of Punchline, which I still haven't read. I'm probably not going to read till I can read it for free on the DC app or Comixology. But anyway, I was looking at their lines Friday and Saturday. Their lines, respectively, they weren't signing together; they were signing separately. Each of their lines, when they first started signing, would start with their table wrap all the way around. It was the length of an artist alley aisle each.
Oh,
so finally, hopefully, like Tynan slowed down a little bit. To the point where he could go, because he's just a writer. He just signs real quick, says a few things, says thanks.
Yeah, no one's asking him to do remarks or
exactly. Yeah, Tony Daniel, he started charging $10, and that killed his line pretty quick. So smart on him, I suppose. But yeah, the opening of the show, like the first day and a half, you couldn't walk up to him. And usually Tynan goes every year, and you can walk right up to his table.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That guy's had no line for the last 5 years anywhere I've seen him.
Not anymore.
Yeah, just the fact that this book comes out, I mean, his line was the biggest by far I've ever seen.
Same thing happened with King. As soon as he took over Batman, his line got crazy.
Yeah, as it should. Batman deserves, the writer of Batman probably.
Next year, we're definitely going to do Friday and Saturday at a minimum, and we're going to get a hotel room because it's unrealistic to drive 2.5 hours, try to spend 6 to 8 hours at a convention, and then drive 2.5 hours back home.
Oh, look at that. Metal.
I like this. That's like one of the C2E2 exclusives, right?
I don't think this has came out yet. I mean, Drew, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but
I haven't seen it yet. I think it comes out next week.
So Flash 750. So I guess these are technically advanced copies they were selling, but they're also, there you go. Nice foil goodness right there. So
there was a foil.
I want to read this. I figured, I may as well get one exclusive that I'm going to open up and read. So I'm going to pick this foil and get fingerprints all over it.
Do you mind if we ask how much it was?
It was $25 on the show floor.
Wow.
It did last the whole week, too. Or actually, I think all the DC stuff, all the graffiti designs exclusives, they were there the whole weekend.
What sold out first?
None of them sold out for graffiti designs. I went up there Sunday and had my pick. I just picked this one because it wasn't out yet.
But I'm assuming that Wolverine one sold out.
The Wolverine one was gone. At the end,
there was only 3,000 copies of that one.
I think a lot of them went to Armstrong.
Thank you, Chad.
Unless I read that at one point. So I think they're only I think 750 designated for. Actually, I don't even think there were that many. There was a small handful designated for the con.
And I heard that there was some Jenica variants that were out too that were available the entire weekend that should probably pick up some steam. A lot of people should be picking those up on the secondary market after the convention because there's a lot of people buying those.
Seawood, did you get a new sketch?
I got a couple sketches. Like I said, between Baltimore last year, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, C2E2 last year, I spent a lot of money on sketches.
Oh, yes.
There wasn't anyone I really needed or wanted, but I still managed to get two. That's pretty cool. So, Andolfo, shout out to Cat Ren Figures. This is one of her favorite artists.
Ooh. A Mirka sketch?
Go to Mirka Andolfo's table and, give her the good word and all that stuff. So she was charging like $30 for this book or $60 with the sketch. I'm like, well, it seems like she's kind of unattainable to get like a sketch because usually her sketch work is 3 figures ever, like for a headshot, basically. So she's like $60 for this. I'm like, how many more are you doing for the day? And they're like, we're doing one more. So I don't know if they just
you just got suckered.
Warm like I mean, it was like 3 hours to go on the show, and I'm like, there's no way I'm getting any other original art. So anyway, I just had artist choice. She gave me this nice headshot book. Jace got Campbell-esque to me with that nose, but I thought it was really cool. So definitely something I wasn't expecting at all to get. So I got that.
Was that a sketchbook as well?
And then
is it a sketchbook?
Yeah, this is an art book. So
it's an art book.
Yeah,
some cool stuff in there.
I don't want to show too much because I don't. Well, there's
a lot of nips.
some nips. You got it.
Yeah.
As you guys would say on the old Blast Interstash, some of those pig nips.
Hashtag pig nips. Huey loves pig nips.
Huey.
Half Squatch loves him some pig nips. We know this for sure.
You would absolutely love this art book. So anyway, the other sketch I got, once again, wasn't expecting to be able to even get this channel. It's kind of like your story last year, JB. You have an artist. He doesn't really have time to do any work at the show. But then all of a sudden, the word remark comes into play. And you get with his pal at his table, and you're just like, so what's this remark stuff all about? He's like, oh, he draws like a 2-second headshot on your cover choice. Like, well, I have a sketchbook. So this artist was Sean Gordon Murphy.
Ooh.
Sean Gordon Murphy in my sketchbook.
Oh, this is Sean Gordon Murphy
Gordon
Batman
Murphy,
pen
the
sketch.
Batman.
That's cool as hell.
It's a quick sketch. It is what it is. But I saw some of these he was doing for the same price, and it looks like he did them like as soon as he woke up. I think he saw my sketchbook and saw, I was a fan. I don't know. He actually put a little bit more work into this than some of the others
That
I
is
saw.
cool.
But I dug this.
Cool, man.
The fact that he took that extra time. He was very great. Actually, I met him like twice. He is very gracious both times. That is super nice. And actually, the guy running his table is very nice and informative too. So.
That sketch right there, yeah. You get all the movement, all of his style in that sketch. You're not losing anything for having just a remark. That's pretty awesome, man.
So much cheaper.
So just to compare, normal size comic cover, the size of my remark. On a lot of them, they were advertising it. It's exactly like your story last year, JB. Like some of the remarks he was doing was this big.
Yeah, exactly.
That was it. So I'm like, what about a sketchbook cover or a sketchbook? So I just gave it to him and he did that. So I was extremely happy with what I got. I think it was like, once again $30. So
you got to get a smaller
line.
That's why you got to get a smaller book.
Each is on, man. Hey, at least
he got that big book. He got that giant ass remark. So
that's true.
So those are like my main two. I did. Since I held on to this book, and most of these are from previous conventions, I just started getting everybody to sign the dang book. So I'm almost running out of space now.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
You got to go to the back cover.
I'm going to have to, yeah. So I got like Joshua Williamson, pretty much almost anyone. There was like a 6-person X-Men signing with Hickman.
Whoa, that's awesome.
I'm trying to think of who all was there. Sorry, like I said, my brain's a little foggy after 3 days of insanity. So Benjamin Percy was there. Who's the girl working on? Oh my God, I can't think. Teenie Howard. She signed it. And some of their other artists I'm not super familiar with. And then Cami Garcia, I met her at the DC booth. She was like the biggest sweetheart ever.
That's cool, man.
If you guys
the best part of the con, right? Meeting these people is the best part of the con. I watched Drew Manchu get all fanboy with what was that guy's name? I got him on the wall. This guy?
Patrick Gleason.
Yeah, Patrick Gleason on the wall.
Gleason Super Son stuff is that he did. I just picked up the trade used today. That hopefully this will make it to the randomizer sometimes. This is volume 2 of Superman Trial of the Super Sons. Probably one of my favorite things ever. He did this cover right here.
Yeah, we both got that artwork.
Right? We got that print together. Man, he's just
man, that's the best part of the cons for me.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it was tough to try to do that in one day.
Yeah. It was hard to do it 3 days.
Yeah, we're gonna do at least 2 and get a hotel room next time. But we were able to grab a couple little things. That Marching Marvel Society booth, those 2 guys hooked us up with an X-Men 211.96 old label for really cheap.
Very nice.
My favorite pickup.
Here we go.
Oh,
the Stan Lee cover.
Yeah,
it's hard to find those Marvel Ages in a high grade, man.
True.
Well,
you know,
the funny thing is this looks and presents like it's a super high grade, and it's only an 8.5 because it's got 1 tape pull on the back. So I got this for $40. And I'm
pull that D-Runk trick and just crack it and have it regraded.
Yeah. Oh, if
pre-submit it for a 9.2.
Look, if I crack this and send this to D-Runk and he gives me a 9.9, man, I'm gonna
There you go.
in gold.
By the way, D-Runk will give her whatever you want. That's the whole beauty of it.
Yeah, just ask for a 12-7.
Ooh,
Ask her
Carson.
to-
This is my print of the show. Also, Sean Gordon Murphy.
Oh,
Nice.
That's from the last issue. Of
Yeah,
One Night,
Okay,
right?
no.
I went
Question.
off on
Did
that because that's a homage to that original Nightfall panel. It's
Mhm.
just so great.
Did you purchase that when you were getting the remark then?
No, I got this on Friday. I got the remark on Sunday.
Okay, so no, because I would think that if I'm buying, hey, I'm dropping the coin over here. Can I get the
I've
remark?
done that before too.
Hey,
I
hell yeah, give you a little extra love because you bought
I
those.
wish we would have got some print.
I did that with my Bob McLeod Beast. I think I got a pretty good Beast in return.
Very cool.
Like, hey, can you sign all these books? Oh, by the way, I'd love to purchase a signature or a sketch.
Watching all these C2E2 pics on Instagram over the last weekend was just been awesome, man. It's just get me so fired up for MegaCon. So
Yeah, I'm super psyched for MegaCon. Just seeing everybody have a great time,
be
meet each other, and the photo ops and the handshakes and the pats on the butt. Hey, get ready for MegaCon. I'm going to be patting
Oh,
butts.
where's my favorite photo? This is my favorite photo right here.
there it is.
Man.
The pinkies out, pinkies war.
Oh, I'm so sad I miss Bear Island. I miss Bear Island. I miss Comic Head 84. Because
How did you miss Bear Island? He's 8 feet
If
tall.
you notice in this shot, I'm got to Photoshop myself in. I was on the other. I was in a beer line on the other side of the con with my buddies who I was staying with, and then this is why I was reading all the Instagram messages like, "Hey, you need to go over here now, man. These guys are having to head out for the day." Because I didn't get there till 1. Stupid CTA in Chicago, their trains were running behind all day, so I couldn't even. Both Saturday and Sunday, I couldn't get there till 1 o'clock. I think a lot of people left out about 2. So sorry, I missed a lot of you guys. Here's a couple pics that. Thanks for uploading these, by the way, Andy. Here's me and JP's budget collecting.
Yeah.
So luckily, I did get there just in time to meet a couple guys. There's me and
Gavi.
from NYC, and then there's him meeting Andy. The pinkies
Yeah,
out.
congrats to Kavi scoring his first print Turtles that weekend.
Close.
And then you guys notice, I'm not wearing a backpack because they didn't allow backpacks into the wrestling show at the evening. So I backpack free for the first time ever in
And how was it?
C2E2s. It
You
was
did
actually
look
kind
pretty
of
uncomfortable.
freeing, basically.
It was, wasn't it?
So there's that picture again. Yeah, as you can see, I completely missed that. Oh my God, the comb.
The comb is stuck in the beard. I love it.
So okay,
Stuck in the beard.
we left
Ah.
Kalamazoo and got about 20 minutes down the road when I realized that I didn't bring my comb. So we made a special stop in Michigan City, Indiana
Buy a comb.
to buy a comb. Yes.
You looked down and the comb was already in your beard. That would have been good too.
Awesome.
But yeah, as you can see, great times were had by everybody. I was happy I got to see the people I see. And then actually, yeah, did put up this picture. Big shout out to Chuck Load of Comics.
Fuck yeah.
Allowing me to sit in on the Colin Bunn interview. So that's on his channel right now. That's Chuck Load of Comics on YouTube. So we had a lot of fun talking to Colin Bunn. Colin Bunn was awesome. I'm slowly getting into some of his works because I'll be honest, I have not read a lot of Colin Bunn at all, and I need to. I don't know why I haven't, but I need to. I actually got Harrow County signed by him, which I very much enjoyed. And when he signed it, he looked at it. He's just like, looks like you got a few more volumes to go. I'm like, I thought there was only one more library edition out. There's 4 total I have to get now.
Wow.
So he sold me on 4 total library editions of Harrow County. So
There you go.
and then even Chuck said, you got to even get the spinoff because as you see on his table, that's like the Harrow County spinoff that Chuck put on the desk there. So I am officially sold on all of Harrow County now, thanks to this interview. So big thanks, Chuck. And of course, thanks Colin Bunn for stepping in there and allowing us to interview him. And I know Great Legend was happy about it. I name dropped him when Colin Bunn actually goes, "Oh, I know who the Great Legend is." I could hear the smile.
I interviewed him at Baltimore, man. Me and the Great Legend. It was a great time. Legend had a boner about the 6 gun the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I guess my last thing I need to talk about is you guys saw me backpackless on Saturday because I got to go to one of the best wrestling shows I have ever been to, the All Elite Wrestling Revolution. It was their pay-per-view. They built this arena called the Wintrust Arena. It is literally right outside McCormick Center. So you can walk outside C2E2, walk to your right, and then there's a wrestling show right there as long as you have tickets to it. So I mean, it was phenomenal.
Sold out, right?
Yeah, it sold out in like half an hour. Like they have Chicago on lockdown. AEW does. Like that crowd was fire all night. It was like a 3.5 hour show, including like a dark match and a pre-show match. And that crowd was on fire pretty much for the whole time, but maybe like one match. And even then, like those two girls in that women's wrestling match, they went over the crowd by the end of that one anyway. So there's nothing just like a Chicago wrestling crowd, in my opinion.
Awesome.
So that was a lot of fun. I actually kind of want to get the pay-per-view if they ever release it somehow, like Blu-ray or something like that. It was a blast. Wish beers were cheaper, of course, but who doesn't? But man, I can't recommend AEW enough. I'm a fan finally of their product. So the tag match between the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Adam Page, probably the match of the night for me. But yeah, AEW, 2 thumbs up to that show. It was amazing.
How about Freshly Squeezed, man?
Oh my God, Orange Cassidy. Like they got criticized for signing this guy Orange Cassidy, but when he came out, did the whole shtick with him putting his hands in his pockets, fixing his sunglasses, doing the little tap kicks, and getting the match of the year chance. Like, I mean, he's like the top 3 babyface in the company somehow now. So definitely a really cool show. Could have been.
I could have seen that with you, man.
So. Any final thoughts on C2E2, Andy? I know we're kind of getting in the 11 o'clock hour here.
We got to go a minimum of 2 days, possibly 3 days next year, getting a hotel for the entire time. Plan ahead. Hotel prices are not cheap, even a year in advance. And when you start looking 2-3 months in advance, they're really expensive. I don't know. C2E2's got to be on our list of ones we can't miss every year because it's so close. C2E2, a couple of local conventions, Baltimore, barring family challenges, MegaCon's one I don't want to miss every year. But then next thing you know, it's like, man, I'm gonna make 5-6 cons a year.
Yeah, just start being a traveling, rambling man, Andy. Being a rambling Andy.
I can ramble. I'm not sure that's what people want, though. But
yeah, you can just live with your comics in a van down by the river.
I can do that too.
You take that van to every con.
I just need the glasses and I need the suit and the tie and then a van down by the river. But C2E2 is one of the ones that I don't want to miss every year from here on out, just because it's so close and it's convenient to get to. Even if you try to just pull off one day, which I don't recommend. Yeah, I don't want to miss next year.
Yeah, like I said, I just recommend parking close the first day. Like, here's the amount of hardcovers. I didn't carry these around all at the same time, and my iPad's in there too. It's like, but I pretty much, I accumulated a signature in every one of these hardcovers, and the top one's my sketchbook. So,
wow.
Yeah, bring something to take stuff, or just stay at the con's hotel that's close. Either or. But Chicago's kind of one of those that Chicago's such a big city. It's kind of hard to, park close and that stuff. Luckily, I just got there early Friday, did the garage that was there. And, I mean, it's still a walk, though, to get to that garage. But that's my last piece of advice. But I've been to every C2E2. It's always a must-go con for me. But like you, Andy, like when I presented this book to Shangor Murphy, goes like, how many cons do you actually get to every year? Anyway, I started thinking about it. I'm like, crap, I'm almost up to like 4 or 5 cons a year myself.
Wow.
One a quarter is a good idea.
Wow.
I'd
love
like
to go to one a quarter.
Around here in the Midwest, I have C2E2, Cincinnati Comic Expo, which is another solid con. Indiana Comic Con, it's a one-day con, but hey, it's still an easy get. And then pretty much my traveling con with the Comic Core last year, it was Baltimore. This year it'll be MegaCon. And then if I want to do a 5th one, there's the Louisville convention. I think it's like Louisville SuperCon. I went the last 2 years, but I didn't go last year. So, yeah, I could get up to 5 cons easy.
Easy, yeah. I know MegaCon, or not MegaCon, Motor City Comic Con in Detroit is one that we go to every year because it's our anniversary weekend. So we get a hotel and stay for the whole 3 days, and that's our anniversary weekend. I don't know if anybody's interested in going to that one, but it's not too bad. It's decent size. It's no C2E2, but it's good size.
Nice. Now, Andy, are you going to do a full haul video on your channel at some point this week?
From C2E2?
Yeah.
I did a full haul video on this channel.
Yeah,
right now.
I got 2 slabs. The only thing I hauled around is my backpack full of regrets and dreams and all this other stuff. The only thing I did wrong for C2E2 is I forgot to print out a doggone map and put it in my pocket. That was the hardest part, was finding all the places that I wanted to be and go to, because I didn't have a map on me. And the map didn't want to load on my phone.
Very cool.
Geek Aficionado, I'm located in Bloomington, Indiana. I'm surprised Chad didn't put my zip code, my address, and my social in there first. He's back in the chat. And he says, show UDS or us. Well, you'll have to tune into my channel tomorrow, because I don't want to bore everybody. We'll be here all night.
Yeah, tomorrow for the Tuesday Night Live
Tuesday Night Live
He's
stream.
going to show all the UDS.
Tuesday Night Live stream. There you go.
I'll plug a little bit. Like I said,
Teaser, a little
could
teaser.
1 hour haul video, but I didn't want to do that. Oh yeah, this one's for Drew. My last criticism of C2E2, the overall winner for this guy was DC Comics. I enjoy going through the booth every single time. The amount of freebies they will jam into your hand and your backpack as you're walking by is second to none. The people they hire to man their booth, very friendly. However, that being said, Marvel, good signings too. They have this guy every single year he's there. He manages the lines. He's tough but fair, basically put it. He'll give you the information. He'll be straight up about it, and he kind of tell you what not to do, basically. But I respect that, because it keeps people from taking these giant stacks of books and taking your time of the day. So DC and Marvel being right there on the show floor, right next to each other. I hope C2E2 continues to have that, because once they got DC back, that whole front of the show has been awesome, in my opinion. So DC, great. Marvel, not too bad either. All right, so we got a little bit of business to conduct here. Actually, first, you know what? I want to go over this chat one more time. Make sure I didn't miss anybody in the chat. We got Gray Matter Hulk. He says, Curse of the White Knight was amazing. Thanks for coming out tonight, Gray Matter Hulk. And as I'm shouting out the chat, please start putting your suggestions for next week's read into the chat, because that's what the next segment is going to be. JP says, I missed Barrett by less than 5 minutes. I know, hopefully I will see him next year or at a con sooner. Thunderhouse Design says, check out Helheim by Cullen Bunn. And Wolf Moon says, Count Von Strange. Boy Fish Tropic says, Down by the Sea. Talking about Down by the River still, I think. Poor Man says that $25 parking garage is worth it.
Yes, it was worth it if you can get in there.
Yeah, I was going to say, Saturday by noon, you're not going to be able to get in. But yeah,
Saturday,
if you get there
Saturday
at
by
9
11,
Friday,
you want
to park there. So if you get there by 9 a.m. Friday, look for that A lot. That's my highest recommendation. All right. It's because somebody is okay. There's 3. The Comic Core, and Comic Core all suggest shoe number 1.
Yeah, that's
There's
right.
only one vote.
I was in the wrong chat box.
I'm going to try to do the share screen and hope I don't crash again.
Yeah, Chad RCG, the Hyatt is connected.
All right.
That's what we're going to look at staying next year, because it's connected right to the McCormick Center. You just park in the lot A, like Carson's saying, and you're done on Friday.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to just kind of slow down the chat so it's not hopping here. So far, the Mastodon in the Comic Core chat we got going on Facebook, he wants us to suggest Kill the Minotaur. So there's that. And then Big Will from Big Will Comics has suggested V for Vendetta 2 weeks in a row in the comment section of our previous videos. So like I said, if you guys aren't watching this live and want to leave future suggestions, please use the comment box in the after watch video to go ahead and put your suggestions in. We'll do our best to make sure they get put in this randomizer. But Big Will has suggested once again V for Vendetta. Monstrous was mentioned as well. 6 Gun, Infinite Crisis, Shoe Volume, and most of these are Volume 1s. I'm just not going to type Volume 1 for everything. Little Bird, I know that's one of Alec Whitewell's favorite. X-Men Messiah Complex, I'm kind of rooting for that one. Maybe I'm rooting for Swamp Thing by Alan Moore. That's another good one. And Marvels was just suggested once again by Chris Barrett. He's going to suggest that until like episode 2000 or however high this crazy thing goes. So I just heard Invincible. That's a Robert Kirkman. All right, let's get into the chat here. Drew Manchu says Manhattan Project.
I do. I say that.
So I got Thunderhouse Design says Copperhead. I've not read that. Let's see. I saw House and Powers of X by Geek Aficionado.
Yeah, and while you're putting that together, Geek brings up a really cool point. Was Thursday night before the convention, the Heroes Initiative did a get together where they were doing sketches on coasters and stuff like that. I am sad I missed out on that. It was I think it was a dinner location they did, and you got to hang out with a number of artists, and they did sketches on these decent sized coasters that were
drink and draw, right?
Yeah, drink and draw. God, I missed that. I wish I could have been there for that. I had a lot of FOMO when these guys are posting all these pictures, doing this hangout with the Hero Initiative, and I'm like, oh man,
dude, I had FOMO all week long. I was like so pissed that I couldn't go. Then I got angry at myself that I didn't force myself to go. Then I got jealous of everybody that got to go. Then I felt happy for everybody that got to go. And then I was like, no, fuck those guys. Why'd they get to go? Especially when then I woke up Sunday morning and Carson was mentioning his AEW experience. I was like, man, I should have gone and done both those things.
The Coach Vic 7 in the chase as the King of Nowhere.
Ooh.
Sure what that is.
I'm not familiar.
So, Drew, you are going to Florida?
Oh, hell yeah. I'm figuring that out.
We'll put God Country in there.
I tell you what, while we're getting everybody's suggestions for the chat, anybody who gets together on Monday night to watch this Modern Men show, next Monday, prime time, not this late night spot, I'm going to be doing an auction on my channel to buy my way to MegaCon.
Boom.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah. There's going to be a whole lot of books, a whole lot of good stuff, and you're going to be able to get it cheap if you buy my way to MegaCon.
Buy that, title it that.
Or Vidal
suggestions. True Manchu to MegaCon.
Yep.
I'm just going to put criminal. I want to read the first one. I don't know which one Coward is, but I'm going to stick with the first one. That's Ed Brubaker.
Criminal's a good one. Yeah. How about the Fade Out?
Fade Out. I like it. What else? There was one I just had in my head.
How about Astonishing Spider-Man and Wolverine? That's a nice little quick story.
What about Life of what was it? Spider-Man Life Story?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man Life Story. Take the rest of my suggestions out of the chat, out of the randomizer, and put Life Story in 6 times.
I'm just drawing a blank. I can't think of anything lately.
I'm gonna put what name of Sin City you want us to read, Drew?
What's the first one? Yellow Bastard?
We'll say Yellow Bastard. I don't think that's the first one, but that's what's going in.
And now see what the reason why you need to randomize it more than just the once, because if you're only going to randomize it once, then you might as well just delete the first one because it ain't going to come up.
No, that's not true. It could. It's random.
I think I put 6 Gun already.
Yeah, you did.
We're putting Punk Rock Jesus over.
Punk Rock Jesus is a good one.
Because I'm on a Sean Gordon Murphy kick. Then Sin City. Actually, yeah, since Southern House Design point out what I was trying to remember, that's going into the Hard Goodbye.
Hard Goodbye. There you go. Oh, Bear Island
Vader trade
in there. Thanks,
All right.
Bear Island.
First
Vader trade. Yeah, Vader Volume 1.
Vader Volume 1. That's it. Good job.
Magic Order. That's a good one. Yay, Mark Millar.
Mark Millar still wins. So.
Is that Olivia Copel on that?
Yep.
Yeah, I got it right up there on the shelf.
Awesome. I'm gonna have to hope I have all those sorted and together, so I don't have to go through this room and find them one by one. But I am really looking forward to that. So I guess without further ado, Comic Man Andy, where can people find you?
You got to do the randomizer, man.
We just did Magic Order.
Oh man, I totally blanked out for that. Magic Order one? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, I was looking off out in the outer space.
You didn't hear it?
He was still at it like it was another title.
No, he capped it.
I was still thinking of other titles, and you guys have randomized it and it won, and I'm like, uh-oh. You guys can find me Monday nights on Modern Men as I stare off into space and wonder what everybody else is doing. But tomorrow, tune into my channel. I'm going to do a contest update with my dad jokes battle, and I'm going to be adding Hell Arisen 3 and Batman 89 to that contest this is going to be a win. So we're going to add a fourth pick, fourth place, whatever you want to call it. Check out that video. Look at the prizes. All you got to do is enter a dad joke for one entry. Now, take the time, do a video, and a 15-second video will get you 3 entries. Just hit go live, deliver your favorite dad joke. I don't care if somebody's done it before. And there you go. You got 3 entries. You can also find me on the Pinkies Out podcast, and we can get together. And whenever these guys need me on, you know what I mean?
Oh, we know what you mean.
Drew, what about you? Said something about an auction next week?
Next Monday on my channel. Drew Manchu. You can find me on my channel. I'm going to be doing something on my channel. I think probably, let's say 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until like 9:30-ish, and then we'll roll into Modern Men, and we'll talk all about Magic Order. But before then, stop by my channel and buy my books. I got a lot of stuff coming out, guys. I might be putting together some mystery boxes. I know how much the community loves that gimmick. I hate it, but maybe we'll do some mystery boxes.
I got 10 good mystery boxes today, man. Come on, 10 mystery boxes.
Oh, maybe I'll put together some mystery boxes. Maybe I'll do some slabs in those boxes. Maybe we'll do something fun. I don't know, man. Maybe we'll be selling some books. Just come on by. Like what can you lose except for all your money? That's a good
mystery
book.
box.
That's a good book.
It's a good book for a mystery box, huh?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to be putting anything like that in my mystery boxes. JB, where can people find you?
Oh, come on, man. Everyone knows what I go live all the time on my channel. I try to go live more often than but whatever. Just check out the channel. I got all kinds of crap on there.
I asked Carson earlier when I came in here. I was like, "Where's JB?" He said, "Where isn't JB?"
Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see.
And Bear Island says 10 mystery boxes. You have a problem.
I do.
LOL face. By the way, shout out to Boy Who Had 7. I saw him in the chat earlier. I know he had the Comic Gories came back tonight, so I can't wait to watch that.
Who won? I got to go check out who won. I was in there.
No spoilers. But yeah, I can't wait to watch that as well. That guy's got a great channel going up. Maybe one day when I get reorganized, I can go and try to win Comic
You know what? You know what? Interesting. I wonder how he did, but Big Will was on there, and he's only got 60 books in his current collection. He's down.
That's easier than if you're not searching through everything, you just find the thing that works best.
Right?
Seriously?
I got an event. Wow. Which box is that in?
I'd like to get down to 60 books. If you guys can help me sell 40,000 books on Monday, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be.
Well, you can find me at youtube.com/cwoodard19. You can search cwoodard19 on Instagram. I tried to post a bunch of pictures this weekend, and I think I'm on Twitter too, but it's not worth following. I don't post on Twitter. So Instagram, YouTube, cwoodard19. I will be showing my whole haul tomorrow. This is just a small portion I picked up of. It's mostly signatures. So if you guys like signatures, definitely check out my channel tomorrow. I will share the more stories from that. Hopefully the con crud and all that fun stuff wears off.
Yeah.
But actually here on the Comic Core Tuesday, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, you can find the Golden Guys. That's JD. Hopefully he has his pals with him, DS Comics. And God, so I don't have my script.
Knights of Old.
Man, how did I forget about Knights of Old?
How did I remember?
My brain right after C2E2. I had so much fun yesterday. I can barely remember who's on my panel right now. Wednesday, we got the greatest show of all time. That's Bear Island Comics, Whitewell Comics, John's Comics with Kids, and Gone Too Soon Comics Explained. We're still. If anyone out there has any ideas for a Thursday show, let us know. But until then, there's no Thursday show so far. So Thursday show ideas, yay! And then Friday, we're going off the rails on a round table. That's the Great Legend Show. That's youtube.com/R9095 to find that guy. Catrin Figures, a.k.a. Cinema Figures, who just put out a phenomenal Friday the 13th review. She's doing a whole Friday the 13th series retrospective on her channel, Cinema Figures, so sub her up there. Of course, Chad R. and Drew Manchu. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and sign off here. We'll see you guys for Magic Order next Monday. Thanks a lot. Actually, JB, you got to take us out, man.
All right, don't forget, we like to drink red wine. No, I'm sorry.
Comic Core.